Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to the final edition of the Legends of Tomorrow Season 7 review series. And today I'm going to be talking about episode 13, the Season 7 finale, Knocked Down, Knocked Up, which I have just finished watching. And this episode was a very mixed bag. There was some good stuff, but there was some silly stuff, but there was also some emotional stuff. And the way this episode ended sets up for a very interesting season 8. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. I'm just saying it does set up a very interesting season 8. And also, in this episode, we saw the departure of yet another mainstay of the Legends of Tomorrow, making Sarah Lance the sole surviving original member who has been in every single season and in every single incarnation of the team since its inception. And I have to say, before we get into talking about the season 7 finale, Legends of Tomorrow this season has been not so great, but there has been a couple of decent episodes. But I do have to question once again how much gas is left in the tank of Legends of Tomorrow, because they have seemed to have deviated completely away from what the original concept of the show was all about. So I do have to wonder how on earth Legends of Tomorrow is going to end, because if you go back to the first 3 seasons and you put them up against the later seasons, it's almost like there are two completely separate shows. So, season 1 to 3, you had the time traveling superhero teams, all in costumes with superpowers, fighting bad guys, but also protecting time and history. Then you get to the second half, from season 4 to season 7, and it just feels like a sitcom, a comedy, but not good comedy. But there are some gems in those seasons. But I just wonder how much life is left. But I guess with the addition of this new hero who's debuted in the Arrowverse, and someone who's quite well known, someone I've been waiting to see appear in the Arrowverse for a very long time. He's appeared in Smallville, he's appeared in the DCAU, he's also appeared in various other forms of media, including the comic books as well. So, this edition of this certain character, who I'm going to be talking about quite soon in this edition, could be a real game changer for season 8. So, it's going to be very interesting, as I said earlier. So, with that all said, let's get straight into it. Let's talk about episode 13, the season 7 finale, Knocked Down, Knocked Up. So this episode starts off with Gary landing in 30,000 BC after being ejected by the evil Gideon from the Wave Rider, who we saw do that to him at the end of episode 12. And then we see Gary trying to blend in with the cave people, and he manages to find a key to return to the manor. And he tells the legends about Alan, and they learn that Gwyn travelled to 1916 and died at the fixed point just as World War One had started. And then we also learn that Ava is considering insemination, which Gary deduces that Sarah is pregnant due to her parts of Kriblick's biology, and as a result of her pregnancy, she has now lost her invulnerability and her ability to heal. And we see the legends travel to the point before Dr. Gwyn's death, and they're intercepted by the evil Gideon, who tells them to leave. And we see Spooner and Astra take to the Wave Rider to convince Gideon to turn against the evil computer Gideon. And this was actually quite a good scene. This kind of reminded me of Terminator 2 and 3, with Spooner using the shotgun on evil Gideon, and you see her face fall off, and you see like the mechanical inside and everything. So that was quite a cool moment. And as a result of destroying Computer Gideon, they manage to disable the Wave Rider's cloaking, making Computer Gideon an anomaly, and she self-destructs in the temple zone. And we see Astra uses her magical abilities to shield all of them and successfully puts the Wave Rider back together. Meanwhile, we see the Legends meet a man named the Fixer, also known as Mike. More on that in a moment. And Gwyn states that anyone attempting to change the battle could be erased in a time paradox, making Mike feel very useless. And he goes on to explain that he knows who the Legends are and he knows all about their history. And in that moment, he freezes time, destroys Gwyn's machine, and escapes alone in the Wave Rider to talk to his superiors. So we see in the ensuing battle, Nate rescues Alan and he is affected by mustard gas and he loses his steel powers. You know, it's quite interesting because I almost forgot that the Legends actually have powers. So to actually see Nate steel up, if you will, was quite surprising. And the way he loses his powers, I thought was a bit of a lame way. I definitely would have preferred if Nate gave up his powers willingly, but just for him to lose his powers the way he did, I don't know really. It was just a bit of a whimper way for him to go out. So after managing to save Alan, Sarah reveals to the team that she's pregnant, and Nate retires to the Wind Totem to be with the original Zari. And as the Legends return to the Wave Rider, they meet Mike, who reveals himself to be none other than Booster Gold. And we see him and the Legends are arrested for time-related crimes by the Time Police. And that's how we end Season 7. And that wraps up my review. Overall, the first half of this episode was a bit stupid, but the second half, especially the last 10-15 minutes, was pretty decent. And, Nate losing his powers to mustard gas, I thought was a bit stupid. I definitely would have preferred, as I said earlier, if Nate gave up his powers willingly to be with Zari in the totem. I just think that would have been a much more fitting end for Nate, because he's been in Legends since season 2. So he's been like the second longest serving character. Obviously, Sarah is the original, who's been in every single incarnation of the team since its inception. I don't know really, just I feel a lot of the Legends, the way they are written out of the show, are just very, very lazy. I would probably say the two characters, or three actually, who got to have a good send-off was Snart, Jax, and Stein, because Stein, even though he got killed off in season 3, I felt he had quite possibly the greatest send-off you could ever have in Legends of Tomorrow. But I just feel that apart from those three I mentioned, a lot of the characters, the way they just get written out of the show, it's just a bit lazy, really. So Booster Gold has finally made his debut in the Arrowverse. Long overdue. I do think he should have made his debut when Rip Hunter was on the show, but it is what it is. So this does set up a very interesting Season 8, if they are going to get a Season 8, because that's still up in the air. I don't know if they've confirmed there's going to be a Season 8 or not. There should be. I definitely think there should be a Season 8, especially with the way this episode ended. But overall, I would probably say Season 7 is not going to go down as one of the best seasons of Legends of Tomorrow. But there were some good episodes, and I still stand by what I said. The 100th episode was definitely the best, and it was a nice reminder of how awesome Legends of Tomorrow used to be, and how it still could be. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What did you think of episode 13, the season 7 finale? Did you enjoy it? What was your reaction to Nate losing his powers to mustard gas? Do you think there could have been a better way for that to happen? Do you think he should have given up his powers willingly? And also, what's your thoughts on Sarah becoming pregnant now? How does that change things? Do you think this could actually set up for the final season of Legends of Tomorrow, if there is going to be one? And also, what was your reaction to Booster Gold making his debut in the Arrowverse? What kind of role do you think he's going to play in the next season? And who do you think made the call for the Legends to be arrested for time crimes? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below. And I want to take this opportunity to say a special thank you to everybody for listening to me talking about all 13 episodes of Season 7. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see all of you next time for hopefully Legends of Tomorrow Season 8, which I'm hoping is going to be a lot better than this one, because this season, apart from a few episodes, wasn't all that great. And with the addition of Booster Gold added to Legends of Tomorrow, should make for a very fun and interesting Season 8. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But the way this episode ended has kind of got me very interested to see how this is all going to play out in Season 8. And who knows, we might see some other heroes added to the Arrowverse for Legends of Tomorrow Season 8, especially with the addition of Booster Gold. So until next time, take care everybody and stay safe, and once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.